All right, so it is a bye week for San Francisco, which means technically a lot of stuff we're going to talk about does not have an impact going forward to this Sunday because they aren't playing on Sunday, but there's still some interesting stuff that happened this week. Let's start with the big one. How about the 49ers claiming Takk McKinley? Remember, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I said, hey, why not go out and sign Takk McKinley, who, of course, fell out of graces with the Atlanta Falcons. He's been dealing with a groin injury as well. The Falcons just cut the former first-round draft pick, number 26 overall in 2017. He was then signed by the Bengals or claimed by the Bengals off of waivers. But we did find out that the 49ers did officially put a submittal in to go ahead and sign Takk, but because the Bengals were higher up on the list, they went ahead and claimed him first. Well, as we found out a couple days ago, he failed his physical, went back on waivers. Kyle Shanahan said they would go ahead and put in another waiver claim, and guess what? They did. And they got him, which probably means that the teams that put in for Takk McKinley earlier in the week did not end up putting in for Takk McKinley as well, because there were a couple of teams that had said that they were going ahead and putting in. But because San Francisco currently, not perhaps on the outside looking in the playoff picture, with only 4 wins, they were ahead of the Browns and ahead of the Raiders, both 2 teams that wanted to go ahead and claim him. So Takk officially is a San Francisco 49er, which to me is a fantastic move. It's an extremely cheap move, and it's a low-risk, high-reward move that can provide a lot of potential pass-rushing power later on this season. Now, we do need to emphasize here that he did fail the Bengal physical just a couple of days ago, so there's no guarantee he's going to pass the 49er physical, but they're going to get him in there probably sometime towards the end of this week, early next week, if he passes his physical. And if he officially does, and maybe by the time you're watching this, he officially has passed his physical, he will go ahead and be another pass rusher to rotate in on the defensive line, which of course has been completely obliterated by injuries. Now, Takk is no superstar pass rusher. He never really was in Atlanta, never had more than 7 sacks an entire year since being drafted in 2017. But I think a fresh place, a fresh change of scenery can make a big difference in terms of Takk McKinley actually showing up and being a really good pass rusher. To me, this is less about being a now move and more about a future move. You can get him rotating in there. Maybe he's the opposite pass rusher once D Ford leaves. On the other side, of course, of a healthy, important Nick Bosa. Either way, I think this would be a great overall. This was a great overall move and a great move going forward. You guys like this move? Smash that like button right now to try to get over 200 likes on this video. Let's go 400 likes. Heck, let's just go ahead, smash the like button on this video right now. As of course, you guys probably like this move as much as I do. So let me know by hitting that like button down below in the comment section. Now, of course, when you look at the sack rankings for the 49ers, they are pretty average compared to what they were last year. Top 5 team in sacks last year. I think they were number 2 or 3. I forget where they were. Of course, fantastic because Nick Bosa was out of this world. And with all the injuries this year, of course, you lose some pass rushers earlier on, and then they've just been average since. They're tied for 20th right now in the National Football League, alongside a lot of other bad teams. What a shocker that you need to be able to get after the quarterback to win football games, as the Vikings, the Cowboys, the Chargers, and the Falcons all do not have a plus 500 record. Now, I think the Vikings are getting there, and the Falcons are playing better football. But still, Takk coming on to this defensive line depth chart, to me, it's going to be great for the near future and great for the long term, because even though he's at the end of his contract, and so essentially he signed a 1-year deal, they can extend him, in my opinion, for pretty cheap. And because he gets the potential to play alongside Nick Bosa going forward, this might be a fit that not only Takk likes, but the 49ers like as well. So overall, like I said, low risk, high reward. The fact they were able to go ahead and claim him after he kind of lucked out and failed out of his physical with the Bengals is very, very positive for San Francisco. And Kyle Shanahan said earlier on this week that they were to go ahead and put a claim in to go ahead and grab him again. They did. Here we are. The Falcons have a new pass rusher, a young former first-round draft pick who they hope can eventually blossom into the pass rusher Atlanta thought he would be whenever they drafted him number 26 overall out of UCLA. Okay, prediction time. How many sacks for Takk this season with the 49ers? Again, dealing with the groin injury, and of course, me living in Atlanta, I've been hearing all about the Takk McKinley injury, and so I don't think that there's guarantees going to play, let's say, next week, but they hope to have him probably for the final 5 or 4 games. And so, what do you think, 2, 3? Just to see a decent pass rush, better than what the 49ers have had so far, to me would be a positive thing. So let me know what you guys think. What is the total number of sacks down below in the comment section? I'll be reading those and seeing how you guys feel about the Takk McKinley signing overall. All right, now, even though the Niners do not play this week, you can still bet on all the Week 11 NFL games with our friends at BetUS. All you got to do is go to chatsports.com/49bet and use that promo code Niners125 to get a 125% deposit bonus. I mean, literally, you put $100 down. That way you can get the deposit bonus, and then use our promo code Niners125, and it basically turns into $225 to bet on the 49er games 2 weeks from now, or of course the Week 11 games as well. And there's a big slate of Week 11 games and a lot of ones that I think have some pretty good opportunities for you to win your bets and make some money. So as we go ahead and pull up some of the odds here in just 1 second, I think that there are some really good chances for you to go ahead and make some money here. Let's start with my 3 bets of the week with our friends, of course, at BetUS. Eagles +3 at the Browns right now. Now, listen, Philadelphia's been very bad the past couple of weeks, and so obviously road underdogs. The Browns are 3-point favorites, what the +3 means. If you bet on the Eagles to cover +3, you're going to win some money here. I think if you put it's like $30 down on the Eagles and then they cover, I think it's like $27, $28, whatever it was whenever I checked it out. Philadelphia is very, let's just say, pissed off at their recent performances, and I think they're going to bounce back and beat the Browns on the road. How about this one? The fact the Saints are favorites against the Falcons. Now, I'm taking the money line here. I'm taking the Falcons outright in this game, but the fact that the Falcons are road underdogs against a Drew Brees-less Saints with, of course, Jameis Winston at quarterback, to me is ridiculous. The Falcons are going to win this football game. They are the best 3-win football team in the NFL. It's not even close. They have a ton of talent on offense. Their defense has been playing better, and when they got their new head coach, Raheem Morris, inserted as the interim, to me, a great bet. And finally, Packers are +1.5 at the Colts. For whatever reason, like, they don't think the Colts are actually that good. Their offense is very boring. Phillip Rivers has not been that great. And I think that Green Bay, of course, coming off of a kind of embarrassing win against the Jaguars, are going to obviously cover the Packers +1.5 at the Colts. So you guys want to jump in on these bets, you got to do it with our friends at BetUS because you get the promo code as well, chatsports.com/49bet. Use that promo code Niners125 for that deposit bonus. And follow my lead, do your own bets, whatever you guys want to do. Let me know down below in the comment section. Okay, quickly here, you've seen this on Twitter, so we'll just address it right now. Not a big deal, but Eric Armstead was placed on the COVID list this week. It's a great week to be on a bye week because the Niners have had not only Armstead go on the COVID list, but a couple of other pass rushers as well via contact tracing. So Javon Kinlaw, for instance, is on the COVID list as well. Both are fine, asymptomatic, no worries. but they do need to go ahead and get some negative tests in a row. That way they can pop out and play next week. But the fact they don't play on Sunday is good news. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this just because, again, a lot of players go on the COVID list and then they get their negative test and then they come back. Just ask Kendrick Bourne. Both these guys should be good to go next week. We'll have more updates on this next week, though. If they were to be, have some symptoms or they get some more positive tests, then of course we'll cover this in its entirety next week on all of our 49er shows, as we do a ton of free 49er content every single basically day here on the 49ers Report. So make sure you guys subscribe and turn on the notification bell as well. Of course, just big red subscribe button down below. Go ahead and click that for me. That way you get the latest updates from the Niners all year long. And if you're brand new, click it. Promise you will not regret. Okay, speaking of after the bye week and health, the Niners are going to be the healthiest they have been basically the entire year whenever they go ahead and play 2 Sundays from now. They're getting a bunch of people back, and with every game going forward basically being a must-win with the Niners currently sitting at 4-6, when the key players return, we're going to learn a lot about how good San Francisco, could have been and still could be as they make this late playoff push to go ahead and try and win the NFC West. Now, the West might be a little bit out of reach, but if you wanted to make a little run here, you could go ahead and start by obviously beating the LA Rams coming up here in Week 12, as the Rams are playing really good football, but a win there would obviously boost your chances to not only win the NFC West, but at least have a shot at a wild card spot, which the Niners are still very much alive in, even though a lot of people don't want to basically admit that because the wild card is pretty stacked. Now, here are your big name guys who are all but guaranteed to return next week. Now, again, you can have a setback, so you can't quote me saying for sure, but everything we've heard, Mostert definitely going to play. Coleman's going to come back from that knee injury. Deebo is finally going to play. He's been out for a couple weeks. Now about Richard Sherman, who's been gone since Week 1, Week 2? It's been forever. It'd be great to see Sherman back out there. So there's a bunch of really the 4 main key players all expected to play next week when the 49ers travel to take on the LA Rams. Kyle Shanahan was asked about this in his press conference, and he's pumped. He said it's a huge boost, getting guys you can depend on who have done a lot for us. You guys can see how Deebo has been in games he has played this year, how Sherman has been. Also, I want to say, which I echoed to the guys today, that we're not going to win just because these guys are coming back. These guys haven't played football in a while. Usually when they do come back, it takes them a week or so to get into it and really affect the game. We're going to win based off whether the guys have been getting better or worse. So Shanahan playing, a little devil's advocate there just to say, hey, just because we're going to go ahead and get some star players back, and I consider all these guys to be star players, does not mean that they are guaranteed to win football games. You still have to show up every single week, show up to practice, and then perform back out on the football field. But really, in my opinion, The guy you really want back next week, and the guy the 49ers have been itching to have back recently, is Raheem Mostert. I mean, getting both of these running backs, Coleman and Mostert, back at the same time is huge. But just to have Mostert back, to me, is absolutely critical to the Niners' chances at running into a wild card berth and getting a wild card berth, just based on what we've seen Raheem Mostert do, not only in limited playing time this year, but obviously last year. Mostert is a bona fide number one running back in the National Football League. He's the best running back the San Francisco 49ers have. It's really not even close, by the way. He's way better than Coleman, and he's way better than Takk McKinley. So just to get him back alone is going to be a massive boost. But how about Deebo Samuel? I mean, Brandon Ayuk has been playing very, very well in the absence of Deebo Samuel, but now you get both of them back out there, dealing more motions. They love the motion Deebo across the formation, maybe give him some jet sweeps, end around. This is going to be a great boost, not only to the Niners wide receiver core, not only to Nick Mullins, but to me, Brandon Ayuk, who's been getting the majority of the attention from a Niner wide receiver perspective, with, of course, Bourne missing, and then, of course, no one else behind Brandon Ayuk being that great. I mean, Richie James has had a couple of nice games, but still, Samuel coming back to me is absolutely massive. And so really, now's their chance. They get healthy this week, you come back next week, and then it's, we got to win football games, and at least they're going to have some stars in there and give themselves the best chance to do so. Now, will they? I don't know, but there's always a chance, and that's where the Niners are sitting at right now. Now, let me know which player you guys are most excited to have back, as I, of course, have said many times, I'm very excited for Raheem Mostert, but I'm very curious what you guys think about this down below in the comment section, because I'm very curious just which player have you missed the most? And so coming back, is it Coleman? Is it Mostert? Is it Deebo? Is it Sherman? It could be. Let me know what you guys think down below right now in the comment section, because I think we're going to have some mixed answers here. I'm already seeing some mixed answers down below on my phone over there in the chat. Now, as I said, when these players come back, you got to start winning football games, because this is your current wild card picture. Now, where's San Francisco? Well, the Lions have been winning football games. I mean, listen, the Vikings have been winning football games. They're 11th in the playoff picture right now. But really, 4-6, you're basically right there. You beat the Rams next week. You go on a little bit of a run here, and they have a very legitimate chance to squeak in as potentially the 7th seed, because the hope really is Chicago comes back down to earth. The Vikings, trip up here. Of course, the Lions to me are not that special. And then you squeak in as a 7th seed because you beat the Rams or whatever. It doesn't matter how they do it, but squeaking in is still a very real possibility. The one issue that, of course, we have is that the schedule is a little bit difficult, which we've talked about. I mean, the Rams are no slouch. Bills, Monday Night Football, that one's tough. If they can somehow give you back-to-back wins there, they will easily beat Washington. They'll easily beat the Cowboys the next week, Week 15 on Sunday Night Football. And then it'll come down to a 2-game stretch at Arizona and home against Seattle. And maybe Seattle or Arizona is resting players because they already won the NFC West. Who knows at that point? Speculation, but still, I'm curious just how the season is going to go. But at least they're healthy and have a chance to go ahead and make a run at the 8th seed, which if you can just get in, and a lot of people say, why do you even want the 7th seed? The 7th seed's not that great. If you can just get in, anyone can win. I mean, anyone has a chance to win in the National Football League, especially in the wild card round. Okay, predict the final record for the 49ers. I want to know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Spam those comments. I want everybody right now watching to let me know what you guys think the final record is going to be for the San Francisco 49ers. 8 wins might do it in terms of getting in. It might not. It might be 9 wins. I'm feeling 8-8 just based on what I'm seeing. I think there's probably 2 more losses at least left for San Francisco, but 8-8 could still do it. Now, I hope it's 9 wins. 9-7 would basically guarantee it. I think 9-7 you're in. 8-8 would be very, very close, and so that's my prediction as of right now. But hey, you look good against the Rams next week. You beat the Bills. Maybe I'll change my prediction. Who knows? We can do that here because it's my show and I'm hosting the show, right? Okay, now, final thought here on our news and rumor portion of this show. How about endorsing Jimmy Garoppolo? Well, Kyle Shanahan was asked the question, who's your quarterback in 2021? And even though it's November and very early, he gave a very strong review and a very strong endorsement of Jimmy G, basically saying he's going to be the starting quarterback in 2021 and going forward. The only thought here is that a lot of things can change between Shanahan saying, yes, he's for sure the quarterback, and then, the offseason of 2021. So even though he says it, we'll show you the quote here in just 1 second. I don't know if I would take his word for it, but I think if you're Jimmy Garoppolo, you got to feel pretty good when your head coach says this. What was this? 2 days ago? Quote, I expect Jimmy to be our starter next year. I expect him to come and play with us this year. We have 6 games left. We're not out of the playoffs yet. I've been on a team that was 3-6 going into a bye week that ended up winning their division. We have guys on this team capable of finishing this the right way. We've got to do it 1 game at a time. I hope Jimmy can come back and be part of the team. Now, is this a politically correct answer? Is he being truthful? Is he being honest? I don't know. Like I said, it's still early. You can't really gauge what's going to happen with Jimmy Garoppolo in terms of next season right now. But I think he's right in saying they're expecting Garoppolo to come back. They're expecting him to be ready to go to finish the season week 16 and week 17. That would not surprise me at all. Although the one issue that you're going to have is if Mullins is winning football games and you're in the wild card hunt, you might not want to pull him and mess up the whole rhythm the offense potentially could be in. Again, big if, who knows? But that would be my thought process right now. I guess if technically, and I know we'll get questions about this in our mailbag video, who are those top quarterback prospects if they were to go to the NFL draft and get one? I mean, they're here right now. Lawrence and Fields are going to be out of reach. You won't be in drafting position to get that. Trey Lance, of course, could be a potential option there. He sat out the entire year and didn't play in 2020. Zach Wilson is getting a lot of love. I'm not a big fan. Kyle Trask has been a lot better than I thought he would be this year as a Florida Gator. So maybe a Wilson, a Trask, a Trey Lance. I mean, those are all possibilities right now. But, of course, who knows? It's just so early, And I get the questions because we always want to talk about the quarterback position. But at least for now, it sounds like the 49ers are excited to have Jimmy Garoppolo going forward. And he is signed. I mean, even though the contract didn't have a lot of guaranteed money, he still is signed. So, I mean, technically, legally, he's going to be a 49er going forward in 2021. Who do you think will be the starter? Do you think Garoppolo will be the starter in 2021? Type Y down below for yes, type N down below for no. I'm very curious. I think you guys are split on this. I'm sure I'll get questions later on in our mailbag video, but I think you guys are split on this. Type Y down below for yes, type N down below for no. I'll be reading these as we continue on. I want to hear from you guys right now.